Seth Rogan. Welcome to the project. This is such a lovely film, and it's all about someone who has an obsession with, a love for film. And I was wondering, when did you know that you wanted to be a part of movie making?
I think I always grew up with a lot of movies. My parents were huge movie fans. Like, I think some people grow up with a lot of, like, books in their house. I grew up with a lot of movies in the house. We had a huge wall of VHS tapes that my parents had illegally recorded off of television. And I just loved it. I was drawn to write. I met my writing partner, Evan, when I was 12 years old, and we sat down when we were around 13 and tried to write a movie, which became Superbad. And so I think from kind of as early as I remember, I just loved movies. And as soon as I realized that could be a job, I thought, oh, that's the job I would like to have.
Well, being a film nerd then, what was it like working with the legendary Steven Spielberg?
It was amazing, you know. I felt very fortunate, like, and to get to work with him on something so personal was very special, I think. It was a great version of a great experience. And yeah, I really tried to absorb as much as I could. I asked him as many questions as he would tolerate. I really kind of just tried to stick as close to him as I could and really see how he was doing what he was doing and why he was doing what he was doing. And yeah, I thought, you know, it was not an experience I was going to squander on not really trying to learn as much as I could.
Well, what were some of the lessons then that you did take away?
I mean, one of the biggest lessons is just like he's a genius and you can't really do what he does unless you're him. So that was a part of it.
Family, art, it'll tear you in two.
It's more important than your hobby.
Will you stop making movies? It'll break your mother's heart.
The Fabelmans tackles the dichotomy between art and love and the idea that you may not be able to have one while chasing the other.
Has there ever been anything that you've had to give up chasing this dream?
I mean, I think I dropped out of high school. I didn't go to college. Not that was a real concession. It seemed fun, but I wouldn't say I sacrificed that much in that. I mean, me and my wife are both very work-oriented. We don't have kids. Part of the reason is we enjoy our jobs and enjoy our work and don't want to spend time dealing with some other person and raising them when we could be spending time focused on our own work, and that we find very validating and gratifying. So I wouldn't say we've made sacrifices, but I can say me and my wife have definitively made choices that have allowed us to gear our lifestyles more towards the pursuit of our creative passions, you know?
Well, one of those creative passions, I believe, is pottery, and I've got to know, where did this love of pottery come from?
It's really, it's become like a really unexpected part of my life and I think it's an interesting example of something that has grown like purely organically. Like, I was in no way incentivized to do pottery. I was not incentivized to spend time on it or get better at it. It was just a thing I really enjoyed. My wife enjoys it. We do it together all the time. It's a good way to not just sit in front of the TV and watch, you know, stuff we've seen already. It's just something to do after dinner to keep us awake when we're tired. And so, yeah, it's a great creative outlet. But mostly it's something that, like, me and my wife like to do together and just to spend time together, I think.
Well, Seth Rogan, this has been a delight. Congratulations again on the film. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes, the Ceramics. It's really, really good, and the film's beautiful. The Fabelmans hits cinemas in January 5th.